5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The first title in the new era of official WRC games is here with the release of EA Sports WRC. Codemasters and EA have taken much of the framework of the Dirt Rally series, applied upgrades to nearly all facets of those games, and added some much needed World Rally Championship content. WRC definitely ranks among the most anticipated racing game releases of 2023, and thanks to its well-rounded approach, it also ranks among the best. Here is my review of EA Sports WRC. Let's dive right into the deep end and tackle probably the most contentious topic surrounding any new racing title, the driving physics. In the several weeks leading up to the release, a large amount of gameplay from WRC has been shared through various content creators. It's clear that massive steps forward from KT Racing's WRC generations have been made, and even the generally well-liked physics of the Dirt Rally titles have been improved upon. It doesn't seem, however, that WRC has attempted to dethrone Richard Burns Rally's timeless dirt and gravel driving experience. The driving physics here are very good, often great, but it's unlikely that the very vocal and unwavering RBR fans will switch to WRC and never look back. But frankly, if you're caught up mentally in arguing the nuances of handling physics, you've missed the point of WRC entirely. EA and Codemasters set out to deliver a driving experience that improved upon what had been done in Dirt Rally 2.0, and they have delivered. Whether you're placing a front inside tire into a ditch while cornering, to pendulum your car through a corner faster, settling your car after landing a big jump, sliding gently through an icy corner, speeding through a paved S section, handbrake turning past a blind hairpin, or struggling to keep a Group B rear-wheel drive car under control, WRC's physics stand up. That's a long list, but only scratches the surface of the fun moments you can have in WRC. It consistently delivers fun, fast action across all road surfaces. I've yet to find a situation where the driving experience really falls apart. Like all racing titles, there are discussions to be had about facets of the handling, but the overall model stands up nicely and delivers the playability the WRC license deserves. Whether you have 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 5 days to invest into your rally experience, WRC has you covered. A time trial run at one of the shorter stages should only take a couple of minutes, and you can immediately see how you stack up against the rest of the world for elapsed time. Or, if you want more, set up a quick rally and manage your vehicle damage, tire wear, and variable conditions in your favorite locations. For those looking for the full rally experience, the career mode immerses the player in not only the piloting of a car, but also managing a support team, finances, and career advancement. The latter mode can be daunting at first, as your calendar is littered with events you won't yet qualify to enter. It'll take some getting used to, but as you expand your garage and open up more events, you come to appreciate the depth of what is on offer. EA should have used the calendar view more like what we had in KT Racing's WRC games, but the confusion won't last long, and before you know it, you'll be taking on the best of what the title has to offer and equally stressing out over a 5-second time penalty and a fatigued mechanic. For those new to rally racing, WRC includes a rally school. This is one of the few areas of the title where it feels like EA and Cody's mailed it in. 12 lessons, each of which can be attempted on dirt, ice, or paved roads, and unfortunately, it's only a drop in the bucket of the skills required to be fast and consistent as a rally driver. And this feels more like an assessment of your current skills than a platform to highlight and improve upon your developing skills. Moreover, the times you need to achieve vary wildly, from taking concentration to achieve to laughably easy. Another interesting feature on offer in WRC is the car builder mode. You can choose everything from the drivetrain to the front bumper for your custom-built rally car and unlock additional parts via career mode. While it may not be the most compelling new feature, it does add a layer of nuance to a race series that features a lot of content that overlaps between titles. And for those concerned about burning out or WRC feeling stale, there is Moments mode. It gives you new challenges based on interesting moments from the history of the World Rally Championship. EA plans to update these daily at first, so fresh challenges await players often. And of course, if we're talking about game modes, we have to talk about multiplayer. It's difficult to assess online play when a game is in pre-release, because much of the fun of spontaneous online racing boils down to the size of the player base. However, it seems to have enough in common with the system featured in Dirt Rally 2.0, say that those who enjoyed the DR2 online experience will have an equally good time with EA Sports WRC. A Common sentiment within the rally sim community in recent years is that Dirt Rally would be massively boosted by the inclusion of WRC's cars, and now we have that. 60 years of rally competitors have been captured here, spanning from cars that Mr. Bean might own to the ferocious and difficult Group B cars. Through the Subaru eras and even into modern Toyota, Ford, and Hyundai rally cars with their hybrid electrical energy deployment. And something that gave many in the sim community concern was the prospect of EA putting the content behind paywalls. Thankfully, this is not the case. Nearly 80 cars are available to players at release as part of the base game. Of course, there will always be room for more, and cars like the Toyota GT4 will be missed by some. But broadly, there seems to be enough eras present and enough cars within these eras to keep things interesting. Cars in WRC also suffer damage throughout the stage, which is reflected both visually and in the car's performance. The repair system works well and limits the quantity and quality of repairs based on time limitations. Excessive repair costs also count toward your career budget figures, so clean driving is well rewarded. Each vehicle seems nicely detailed, including functioning dash details, and overall a very good array of cars are on offer here. The stages in EA Sports WRC, to be direct, are phenomenal. The real-world WRC locations are represented here, and you can even find onboard videos from the official WRC YouTube channel of the real drivers taking on the same roads you're tackling virtually. The stages are also noticeably narrower than what we have in Dirt Rally 2.0, which adds a layer of realism and difficulty. And the roads aren't narrow for the sake of being narrow. The environment just off track is now much more interactive. Rocks can be felt through the wheel, ditches and slopes threaten to snatch errant tires, and logs hidden in tall grass can end your rally, giving further importance to the don't cut calls. And while you speed through rural roads across the globe, waving flags, birds flying overhead, fans trackside with umbrellas and rain slickers when it's wet, wheel ruts and other immersive elements are really the icing on the cake. The developers have also done an exceptional job with time of day and weather options for the stages. Dark nights, bright days, sunrises, sunsets, wet surfaces, dry surfaces, heavy rain, snowfall, clear skies, and even seasonal changes are all represented here, and it further reinforces just how incredible these locations are. Lastly, the stages can be massive. There are several spanning over 30 kilometers. These may take half an hour to complete or more depending on the car you choose, and at the other end of the spectrum there are stages under 5 kilometers in length that can be completed in just a couple of minutes. Overall, the stages and locations rank among the best we've ever seen in a rally title. And from WRC's best feature, we now pivot to arguably its worst. Graphically, EA Sports WRC is filled with highs and lows. The aforementioned stages and cars are nicely detailed, but the switch to Unreal Engine 5 has yielded significant issues. Let's start with the overall look. I'd never call this title ugly, but it's also not gorgeous. There seems to be an ever-present graininess in many elements. More importantly, the performance isn't great. I target my AMD 3900X and 6800 XT based system to reach 90 FPS on high to ultra settings on most racing games, and it didn't happen here. Granted, AMD's Adrenalin software could be the limiting factor until the next update, but generally I would say that even though my setup easily exceeds the minimum and even recommended specs, I still see frame rates often dipping below 60 FPS, to say nothing of the dropped frames. Also, it seems the title will be absent VR and triple screen support at launch. Both are planned to be implemented on PC post-launch, but I can't help but feel a slightly delayed launch to allow time for a VR and triple screen support plus performance optimizations would have gone a long way. To be fair, performance will differ from user to user, and VR and triple screen setups are both in the minority of users, but overall the graphical facets of WRC are one of the few disappointing elements of the title. Hopefully we see improvements in this area in the coming weeks and months. Swinging back now to the positive, WRC sounds very good.
6 right short. To slight left, 60.
Most racing games are judged based on the engine notes, but of course the overall timbre of the engine note, driver calls, chassis knocks and bangs, and tires is what counts in a rally title, and WRC stands up nicely. The co-driver calls can be clearly understood, and there's even great narration for the menus.
Heading into a service at the end of this stage, so as long as this crew can look after the car, they should need minimal repairs.
Those of us racing on PC are sticklers for multiple input device compatibility and calibration options, and this is yet another area where WRC shines. Fanatec, Moza, and even SimForge devices were recognized and could be used concurrently. There were also easy calibration options. One of the few issues I had was the absence of force feedback through my Moza R12 wheelbase, but I suspect this is a problem on the Moza side rather than the EA side, and I expect an imminent patch to the Pithouse software to rectify this. But using my Fanatec CSL-DD, the game felt really good. I don't think it's the best force feedback in any racing game if you compare it to the likes of Assetto Corsa or R-Factor 2 or Automobilista 1, but it's very good for a rally game. The noticeably absent tarmac force feedback from Dirt Rally 2.0 has been rectified, and there's a greater feeling of connection to the cars in this title overall. Moving now to the penultimate section of this video, the menus and user interface of EA Sports WRC are generally well presented and organized. Also worth noting is the high degree of accessibility EA has incorporated. Players who may need a bit of extra support due to vision or hearing issues may find what they are looking for in the accessibility menu. This is an outstanding inclusion, and kudos to EA and Codemasters for going the extra mile here. The low point is probably the career mode calendar I discussed before, and the high point is the tuning menu. The former oversimplifies, and the latter provides the perfect level of detail, including visual representations of what you're modifying on your car. This is a really nice touch. Everything in between those extremes seems logically structured, and I never struggled to find a setting. Overall, EA Sports WRC is an excellent title. From what I've experienced to date, it's not breaking new ground in the racing game space, but it does check most of the boxes players look for in a title. It's not radical or revolutionary, but certainly presents as well-rounded and is often an excellent racing experience. KT Racing had become complacent with the WRC license and failed to implement some of the much-needed physics updates, and Dirt Rally 2.0 had a gaping content hole by missing official WRC content. EA Sports WRC bridges the titles and feels like the completed puzzle of modern rally sims, with the edges of WRC Generations and Dirt Rally 2.0 fitting nicely together. That's not to say it's a perfect title. There are fixes and patches needed for the graphics, and rallycross or hill climb content would help complete the title, but as it stands, we've been given an outstanding racing title that's going to be loved by many. Thank you for watching.